Okay, my talk's over. You did that. You literally just satisfied a childhood fantasy of mine, where I walk up onto a stage to Xanadu. Actually, I would be roller skating onto the stage, and everybody would be clapping. So thank you very much. This has been an incredible day. I'm looking forward to Tim's talk, which is next, but I'm really proud also to be the last non-Tim Ferriss speaker. Everybody was really incredible beforehand. I feel like I'm going to go next week and make $1.3 million with all the value that was generated. So I want to give a big hand to everybody who spoke before me. Everybody was so amazing, I had to rewrite my talk from scratch just 2 seconds ago. So everybody here is here, and I was listening closely to what Jason was saying in his very first talk in the morning about how he went through and threw out some people, picked some people, and so on to come here. Everyone is here already because they're smart, and they're clever, and they're entrepreneurs, and they've been through highs and lows, and so on. And so you all know what I'm about to say is really true, which is that entrepreneurship really sucks. Like, it is just painful. I hate it so much. And I've started 20 businesses. I failed at about 17 of them. I'm an advisor or a board member or an investor, and God knows how many of some are doing good, some are going to fail. Who knows? You never can know in advance. I'll give you one quick story. Twitter started off as a company called Odeo, which was a podcasting platform. And along the way, they made this little product for sending SMS messages to each other. And Ev Williams, the founder, said to all the high-powered venture capitalists, look, we're really going in this other direction. You can stay or you can get bought out. And 100% of the venture capitalists agreed to get bought out. And they all missed out on Twitter. So nobody knows what they're doing. Like, even the smartest brains, it's just, I'm not going to say it's all luck, but there's a big luck component. And not only that, there's so much agony. I mean, from 1995 to 2010, I probably slept only 2 or 3 hours a night. Not because I had so much work to do, but because I was just physically ill, just from every client asking for a bribe in every single business, or your employees start having sex with each other and you have to figure out what to do about that. And it's excruciating, all the problems of entrepreneurship. So my first business, I did very well. Sold the business when I realized it was time to sell, and I didn't know what the hell to do with money. I knew how to build a business at that time, but I didn't know what to do with money. So I was like this drunken rock star, just like kind of splurging, doing whatever I could. So there was this one summer right after I sold my business, I had about $15 million cash, and I'm not bragging because of what I'm about to say. The entire summer, I lost $1 million a week cash. And there was one point I go to my ATM machine, and there's $143 left. And I called up my parents. I thought, I had no idea, what do diapers cost? I needed money for diapers for the weekend. And my parents said, no, we paid for your college. We're not going to lend you any money. And so I went home, and I figured, my kids would be a lot better off. At that point, I had a life insurance policy that was worth a lot. My kids would be a lot better off. I started Googling how to kill myself painlessly. And there actually is no way. If anybody needs me to talk to them about that offline, I'd be happy to do so. There is no way to kill yourself painlessly. But because I've written about this, I dominate search engine optimization for I want to die. In fact, so many people were complaining that I was the #1 Google search result that Google actually manually put on top of my result the National Suicide Hotline above my result. And the day they did that, it was news, and I got like 1 million page views because everyone was saying, did Google really do that? Oh, what's this other site? So the only place where it doesn't work, I just realized when I was preparing for this talk, in Canada, I'm not #1, I'm #4. Because I guess nobody wants to die here in Canada. People are like really happy. So then I had to. So I say entrepreneurship sucks, but you still have to make money. You have to pay the bills. And I'm going to connect the dots later about why a job won't do it. But so I had to build up again. I did build up again. I built another business. I sold it. And I go through kind of the hows and hows nots in a second. But wouldn't you know it, a year later, I am on the floor, broke again. I had sold this company again from another company for millions of dollars. I'm on the broke. I was losing a home. I got divorced, losing my family, and I just wanted to reach out to somebody. I was also just lonely. So I put an ad on Craigslist, and the ad was this. The ad was, I have psychic powers, and if you need help with anything, just send me a note, and I will help you right now with my psychic powers. And so hundreds of people wrote to me. And I forgot to add one thing. It was Thanksgiving. So I had a turkey sandwich from the local diner, and I started responding to all the women who had written to me. I didn't respond to any of the men. And you might be wondering at this point, did I actually end up having sex with any of these women? And look at me. The answer is no. So finally, I had to say, this just sucks. Like, why do I keep hitting the lottery and then blowing it all? And it's the very first talk. Soli said, there's success and there's greatness, and oftentimes you think success is what you're after, but I kept finding I would fix myself there, like, okay, the job is done. I'm a full human being now. I made $10 million. I'm done. And the reality is, you're going to instantly fail after that. And that's what was always happening to me. So I decided to just systematically do what I always did on the way up, and it works. So, and I don't mean to give, this is not self-help advice. Do what you want. You're all smart. So this is what I did. So I started to eat better. I started to sleep better. I started to actually sleep more than 3 hours a week. Like, people would tell me, oh, no, I only sleep 3 hours a week. You're mentally ill then if you only sleep 3 hours a week. So emotionally, I decided to only be around positive people. It didn't matter who it was. I had very high criteria. Anybody who was around me had to love me, and I had to love them. So that was it. And I'm grateful that I had a group of people like that, and I was able to eliminate all the people who weren't like that. It was very important. If you stop for a second and you think of the 2 or 3 people in your life you're most grateful for, I don't care about them. I care about how you feel or how I was feeling in my body as I was thinking about gratitude. Like, your body and your mind change. So you have a choice. I'm either going to feel really bad and regretful or anxious about myself, or I'm going to feel this really odd, great feeling that you feel when you start to be grateful towards people. And so it's something you can practice all day long. It's really easy. So the other thing I did was I bought 100 waiter pads. And you can buy them online, like or webrestaurantsupplies.com, for 10 cents a pad. They're great for just writing down ideas, and you can't write like a whole novel on them. So I would write down 10 ideas a day, business ideas, book ideas, article ideas, and 10 people I wanted to introduce to each other. Literally introducing 5 pairs of people a day since that point has made me millions of dollars. So this is very valuable. The idea muscle is a muscle that atrophies if you don't use it every day. Just like if you don't walk on your legs for 2 weeks, you need physical therapy to actually walk again. So the idea muscle is the same way. You need to exercise. I would write down ideas until I felt like my brain was sweating. And so you have to do it. It's the only way to become an idea machine and actually generate business ideas again. Or not even business ideas. You don't even need to start a business to make money or to be an entrepreneur. You could connect people. You could be in the middle. You could advise people. You could invest wisely. So there's many ways to make money. So I'm stopping for a second just because, again, entrepreneurship, I'm just thinking of all the bad things that have happened along the way. So one thing that I've seen happen is I'm on the board of directors of a public company that is in the temp staffing space. This has nothing to do with technology. Why did I go on the board of this public company? Because I did a technique that works really, really well for me. I said no to them 3 times. So I never say yes to anybody. Jason I said yes to right away. But I never say yes to anybody else. So temp staffing seemed really boring to me. And they asked me to advise them. And I said, no, no, no. Finally, they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I said yes. I went on the board. But an interesting thing happened. What I'm seeing now, being on the board of a temp staffing company, is that the entire world has turned upside down very quietly. So I'm going to tell you the secret that's happening right now. Every Fortune 500 company is in the process of systematically firing all of their employees. And I see this on the ground level. They are firing everybody. Who knows what reason? Maybe Obamacare, maybe they're outsourcing to China, maybe they're using robots. I have no idea. All I know is they're firing everybody and they're hiring temp staffers and they're paying the temp staffers less, or I should say we are paying the temp staffers less. I'm involved in paying over 1 million employees a month, and the whole world has changed, and it's continuing. It's not stopping. Everybody's going to get fired. So what's going to happen at the end? You're going to lose your job. Everybody's going to lose their job. So everybody's either going to be an entrepreneur / artist or a temp staffer. So you get to choose. And so people say, some people want to be a temp staffer. A cubicle, I didn't mind being in a cubicle, but it didn't pay my massive bill. It didn't help me meet women, unfortunately. That's the reality. So I chose entrepreneurship instead, and maybe a little bit of artistry, I hope. So all I can say is, you choose yourself, though, to be an entrepreneur. As Clay said, you pick yourself. You choose yourself because you want to be unique. You want to start now doing the exact opposite of what is obvious. Think about every breakthrough in the history of mankind. The moment before that breakthrough, someone did something that was completely unobvious to everybody else in the history of the world. And so every time someone asks you to do something and you say yes to something you don't want to do, you're going to end up hating yourself a little bit more. You're going to do a bad job. You're going to make less money. You're going to become a temp staffer instead of an entrepreneur. You're going to burn yourself out. Burn yourself out so much that it sends a smoke signal to your future self that's like, I did it again. And that's what I kept doing until I started doing this practice of being physically healthy, being emotionally healthy, being mentally healthy, feeling gratitude. And people say about entrepreneurship, oh, well, it's not about the ends, it's not about the money, it's about the journey. That is just BS. It's not about the journey either. It's about right now. Right now is the only moment you actually can choose yourself. There's no other moment for you to do this. So right now, I know for myself, I'm feeling really grateful because Claudia, my wife, is in the audience. I'm really grateful for my 2 kids, and there's been a lot of discussion about children and entrepreneurship. I'm really grateful Jason invited me to speak at this. I'm really grateful for all the amazing information I got all day long. And finally, I'm really grateful you sat and listened to me here for 15 minutes. So thank you very much.